I think the overriding issue that we have is just the lack of pay. We would like to sort of see the promotion of the living wage. I mean, over the past 5 years, the number of people in work who is dependent on benefits has doubled in Scotland from just under 30,000 to over 60,000. So it's the fact that low wages are driving people to be dependent on benefits, and that really needs to stop. The other thing, key area that we're concerned about is what we would term the poverty premium. That's of people having to pay more for goods and services that through things like pay-as-you-go for phones and fuel and gas, whereas because they can't rely on their income stream being able to manage direct debits.
What we were presenting today to the Financial Inclusion Commission was some of our findings from our research, and looking for the Financial Inclusion Commission to look at the work that's happening in Scotland and the strategic approach that can be done with funders to look at better collaboration and funding for financial inclusion services in Scotland, and the need to develop a national strategic approach around financial inclusion. Obviously, payday lending was highlighted to us as one of the biggest problem debts at the time when we carried out our research, as well as access to affordable credit solutions, with a number of local authorities in Scotland looking at developing financial inclusion strategies and alternative approaches like the Scot Cash model that we have in Glasgow. However, a strategic approach is needed to support the sector to drive forward these improvement areas to bring consistency to the population of Scotland.
Today we were just telling the Commission a bit about our work at Citizens Advice Bureau across Scotland, the advice we give people and problems that we see people coming in with. We see a lot of people coming in with obviously short-term high-cost credit, loans that they've taken out, problems they've got with debts on that. We also talked a wee bit today about rural provision, about banking services where they've closed a lot of bank branches, and also about some of the issues facing people around insurance, about how they find it very difficult to buy insurance because they're on very low incomes, the impact that that can have on people if they have a loss, whether that's a kind of home insurance issue or even pet insurance. But also one of the big increasing problems for us that we've seen is through bereavement problems, so people who can't afford to pay for funerals of loved ones, and the financial ability of people to absorb such a life event is increasingly difficult as funerals increase in cost massively.
I'm Neil Alexander. I'm the Development Director at Moneyline, not-for-profit social business, lends money to customers with thin, poor credit histories, ignored and unwanted by banks and mainstream credit. Last year we advanced £8.5 million through about 18,500 loans. Our customer is best typified as being a young woman with children, living in social housing in the most disadvantaged parts of England and Wales. We lend from 20 branches across South Wales and the northwest of England. I was at the Commission today to speak about the need for credit amongst a group of people who find it very difficult to access extremely small sums. We average loans of around £200 for a first loan, up to about £450 on an average loan. Small sums for emergencies, planned and unplanned expenditure, Christmas, broken cookers, washing machines, Christmas parties, kids parties, that type of thing. We saw last year an uplift in the numbers of people that we saw in September to December. So much so we found it a real struggle to service that need, partly because the investment that we have is never enough. What we think is needed in the affordable credit space is somebody, a bank, supported by government, financial institution, who is not going to be last in, first out, but is going to be first in, last out, in terms of raising the finance that alternative credit suppliers in the not-for-profit area need to scale up their business and provide more loans for more people who will continue to need them.